On this episode of ijdm, we're taking a look at the NearStream cameras once again and a new added function that I was very anxious to see get implemented. Just actually got the email today. Next up.
Another visitor. Stay a while. Stay forever.
All right, let's get right into this. I'm not going to do my normal shenanigans, but you never know. One can always pop up. Yeah, we did review these NearStream cameras, and I got to say, I wasn't overly impressed, but they did the job. They did what they said they needed to do. It was just a limitation to having to use your iPad or iPhone to control them. And if you did want to use them in actual streaming software, which you can see up here in the corner here, left corner, that it just you had to wire them to get them to connect to all these different streaming platform software things. So this now offers opportunity of switching the camera over to NDI mode. And basically, if you have the NearStream app, I'm not going to show it. It's just rather boring. It takes a few minutes for it to happen, but you basically just connect your NearStream camera to your app on your iPhone, iPad, or Android device, or whatever, Google device, whatever you might have. And then once you see the camera show up and you add the camera, it'll say new firmware available. So you just click that. The firmware will take a few minutes to update, and bam, you have NDI on these cameras now. That to me is like a free upgrade because a lot of companies say sometimes they're going to add NDI or they'll make you pay for it. In this case, NearStream just gave it to us. There is a few drawbacks I'm going to cover before we get into this whole NDI thing and multi-camera setup. But the biggest thing I wanted to point out is when these cameras are switched over to NDI mode and there's just a menu option, you just go ahead and switch it over real quick. It does warn you you cannot really use the camera in the app anymore. For some reason, I don't know why. I can say with their competitor, I won't say their name, but with their competitor camera, you can still actually do different functions on the camera when it's in NDI mode, where here you cannot. Maybe that'll be added in a future firmware or software update, but for now, when you're in NDI mode, that's it. The camera's just sending out an NDI signal, and your NDI program, whether you're using, in this case, I'm using Vimeo Livestream Studio. There's also, of course, OBS, vmix, and a handful of others that have NDI sources that you can use and be able to bring in your multiple NDI cameras. I've showed this in other videos with different cameras and how it works, but basically it's just a wireless video audio protocol that makes things super simple. So it's almost like one of those bonjour type things where it's automatically recognized. So let's get into it. Yeah, I've babbled on more than I even wanted to. So for this setup, we're going to need, obviously, another tripod. And tripod, it's a tripod, or we'll just call it a stand in this case. We will need that, and we'll get that camera set up in a moment. So the first thing I need to do is get this thing unfolded and get it all set up. As you can see, I kind of have this camera in front of the screen and looking at the Vimeo Livestream Studio software. You can see the camera, and if I drop down over here, you can just basically add it as an NDI source. It shows right up as long as you're connected on the same network. And there it is, just like that. So if I'm doing a podcast and I want to switch between two different people, it's easy as just clicking or hitting the button, and I'm back and forth on whichever camera. As far as this camera goes, it works great in the NDI world of bringing stuff into programs like Vimeo Livestream Studio, OBS, or vmix. Good for that. As far as the app, like if I did want to actually use this app right here, it's kind of a pain because I rather use it like this. To me, it feels more natural with a tablet. Again, that could be a future release that maybe they get to it. But there you can see the two cameras are online, tells you the batteries and everything just when you go to connect to it. So if I hit the camera outside that I'm using, it'll give you a little warning on the screen that says you're in NDI, it'll shut it off. And so once I do that, it does shut off the source. It's no longer available, but then I can access that same camera in the app once again and make adjustments, which, that being said, if you want in-camera adjustments, you do have to take it out into NDI mode. And to put it back into NDI mode, you won't show any image adjustments or anything like that, but to put it back and then Oh yeah, I wanted to show that too. You can choose between different modes. You can go from 720 all the way to 1440. It does have the HEVC option, and then you can do custom resolutions and bit rates as well. We'll check that. Actually, let's check that out. See what it. Okay, so it's just basically the same thing. It's just you allows you to manually slide it, whatever. So if I'm going to put it back in NDI mode, I just tick that. It'll say we need to report back to NearStream for licensing purposes by enabling it, blah, blah, blah. And then it's back into NDI mode. Of course, you don't have a picture now because it's sending it to the actual program now that, well, once I connect the camera, then there it is. It's like as easy as that. That wraps this one up for the NearStream camera and multi-camera setup. We do have one more video where we're going to pit the mevo camera against the NearStream camera and do some different tests on audio, video, and also zooming functions. So we'll see how that works out. I'll see you next time on ijdm. Thanks for watching.